Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters and viewers of IQRA TV, to the second part of this program. We've been talking about hospices and the role that hospices fulfill in our communities. Hospices play an important role for many, many families in this country. And we've got something similar back home as well, but not as sophisticated, as organized, I think, as the ones that we have here. I have with me two very special guests who come from the Kirkwood Hospice, which is based in Huddersfield, which covers the area of Kirklees. And they've been sharing with me and you what the work they do, how people can access the work. Well, we have to talk about that, but the type of facilities that they have to offer. Now, before we went to the break, we talked about a number of facilities and the services you provide. And I didn't know this until you mentioned it, that you also provide support in people's homes.
Yeah.
I had this image that everything happens in the hospices, and not everywhere else. So I mean, that is something that I've learned. But I mean, in terms of hospices, we know that 99.9% of people who come to you are probably who've got life-limiting illnesses. So they may have, a few days, few months, few weeks to live. Allah knows best. But I mean, in terms of the age range that people you get, I mean, what sort of age ranges? I mean, in my opinion,
you've got that misconception. It's
misconception there. But I mean, I'm sure that's not the case, is it?
So we're there for anyone that's sort of 18 or over. And you just made an interesting point about people think that it's right towards the very end, but there's people that access hospice services sometimes for years.
Right.
So it's not all about the very end of life, but unfortunately, there's no guarantee that somebody will die at a very old age.
Oh, I agree, yes.
There's younger.
That's why I said Allah
people.
knows best. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So we are starting to see more younger people, and I think it's important that we sort of spread the word that we are there for people over the age of 18. Because if you're a young person, you might hear the word hospice and think, well, I don't want to go there because it's full of Buddha or older people.
Right.
So again, we're there for anyone that's over the age of 18.
I mean, the other misconception, again, I had this was that it's usually people who are suffering from cancer, but that's not the case, as you say.
It's not, no. So there's a really long list of different conditions. So it might be dementia, it could be heart failure, it could be neurological conditions, it could be COPD. So really any type of condition that isn't going to get any better, that people aren't going to recover from. And we know that sometimes people can live with those conditions for a number of years as well.
Right. Well, yeah, I know, because I've known people who have been, ill for quite a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Fazana, coming back, I mean, obviously you're the care coordinator. I mean, in terms of people in the community who want to access your facilities, and you said earlier about how you go out and talk to people and families and see what they need and then try and fit it in, working with other agencies as well. I mean, how difficult is it to get people to understand the work that you're doing and how you can support? I mean, there's two parts to this question. How proactive do you go out there and sell yourself? Because this is a vital service. Our hospitals are breaking point, and the hospice can play a major role in helping families through a very difficult time. But there's not much sort of knowledge out there. So what do? Do you do anything special?
So we're here today, but
well, that's I'm grateful you are here today.
I think we're trying to do a lot more.
Yeah, we are trying to do, again, how people access our services, and like you said, it's long-term conditions. Usually it is through GPs and it is through consultants. Mainly that's how, because culturally people again have that stigma that we don't want to go to hospice. So if it is referred by a GP or by a consultant, they're more likely to say, well, I haven't got a choice. However, if people want to self-refer or refer family, that's what we are doing, an initiative called Spread the Word. And myself and Sedef are actually here. We have seen more our Asian culture patients come through the door since we've been there. And I think it is word of mouth as well. When you see one patient recover, it does get round that it is. So it is actually breaking, but slowly.
Well,
Stigmas are
There's more work to be done there, and I think you made the valid point about masjids.
So the second part, I'm got another guest coming in. I was going to talk about her personal experiences of having used the hospice and how it helped her.
I mean, Sedef and I have been going around to different services, going into different networking events, trying to promote what's available.
GPs,
yeah. So
what about our community organisations, the mosques and madrasas and masjids? Are they listening to you? Are they opening themselves up to you?
I think they are, but if anybody's watching from one of those organisations in Kirklees, we're more than happy to come out and speak to them and find out a little bit more about how we can spread the word. But I think part of it is that our community needs to feel that the service is there for them and they need to feel confident. And sometimes if you've got a family member that's known to Kirkwood, sometimes that helps break some of the barriers down.
That's the most important thing. I mean, word of mouth is, in our community,
we trust
is absolutely vital, But I mean, the thing is, we have institutions, we have community organisations, we have mosques and madrasas. I mean, you're a charitable organisation, so you're not funded by the government.
No, so we only get about a third of our funding from the NHS, but the other 2/3 we fundraise. And I know that there's lots of people from our community that support us through fundraising. So it's really important that people can access the services
as well.
So
what sort of events or activities do you organise to do fundraising?
Also, so we've got a fantastic fundraising team that organise lots of different events. We've got community organisations that might have, afternoon tea parties or events or raffles. We've got a ball coming up this weekend, the Kirkwood Ball. We have our Midnight Memory Walk every year.
Whoa.
So there's lots that we do because as a charity, we do need to raise the funds so that we can
And do you feel that the Muslim community engages in that type of activity, or just because of cultural and faith regions they stay behind?
I think as a Muslim community or any culture community, we are actually usually forefront of raising for charities, and we do contribute.
Oh, we are
massively.
We are absolutely phenomenally
So
raising
I think
charities.
we have seen
isn't it?
it is coming
But
along.
that is usually for charities in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh,
but not
and Africa, where we don't do much in this country, and that's one of the complaints I've been making for many years. But I mean, do the mosques and madrasas or the institutions that we have in your neighbourhood, in your area, do they support you with financial contributions?
I think there's probably more work to be done. We have been really lucky that we have gone out to madrasas. I know there's a fantastic charity called Come On Y'all that have supported us as well, and we're really open to working with other organisations.
Okay, so if anybody's watching, which I'm sure many people are,
please donate.
These are vital services that are desperately needed, and until somebody's used it, you won't appreciate how wonderful some of these services are. And I've heard lots of people, friends, family, who've had to use the services of hospices, not necessarily Kirkwood, but others. But obviously this is something that we as a Muslim community, I think in my view, I would say obliged to a certain extent to support financially as well. I mean, coming back, we touched about faith and culture. Now obviously we talked about pastoral care as well. But I mean, do we have imams in the hospice that provide support and services when the patients or the family need it?
Yeah, if the patient or family do request that they do want to access the imam or they want to talk to them, then we will make that facility available. We do work with Mid Yorkshire Hospital, so that's Pinderfields and Dewsbury. So we have imams who actually speak Urdu or any languages really, so they do come and support. So it could be somebody personal within the community. We are linked to most of the mosques within Kirklees.
So they can answer
it could be
questions.
different, we have different imams for different masjids, so we can actually access those kind of facilities on request of.
And are they readily available to you? So if a patient says, I want to talk to an imam, ask them a masla, for example, you can access that fairly easily. And as you said, culturally, food is also something that you have already covered, so they don't have to worry about whether it's going to be halal or not.
And we recently had a patient at the hospice who really wanted to make roti.
Oh,
and actually she was in the kitchen with our chef who was making roti. So, we don't want people to worry that we're not culturally appropriate. I think we go above and beyond to meet the needs of our patients.
So families, somebody is a patient who's coming to the hospice. I mean, you know what happens with our community, don't we? Ek aadmi bimar, one aadmi is bimar and 100 people come to visit them. How do you cope with that? I mean, I'm sure you see that as well.
Different to hospitals where, two by the bedside. We do facilitate families. They can come and have special moments, special times. For example, if it's birthday and they want us to support them to arrange that or bring their own things. So, we recently it was English wedding, so we had ceremony there as well.
Well, the ceremony was in the hospice itself?
Yes, it's in the hospice.
Wow.
It's a blessing.
Sure.
So, nothing's actually, we don't say we can't do this.
Right.
We will try our best to, bring it as close to what the patient or the family want us to support them with.
Right.
So
virtually any request, as long as it's within reason,
within
Yeah.
reason,
you will
absolutely.
try and fulfill that
Yeah.
request.
So we've had patients in the hospice where they've wanted to see their animal, their pet. So we've had cats that have come in, you know, I think we had a horse a little while ago. So we want people to feel reassured that we'll go above and beyond.
So this is something when a patient is really ill, you know, and feels that, you know, they're now losing their life and they want to do things, you know, before they actually pass away, that they want to see their friends or their animals, etc. You arrange that as well.
We will. I think our focus is always on how can we make the most of people's quality of life. So it doesn't matter if they're at home or if they're within the hospice. Actually, how can we help them with their goals? And I know in the break we were talking about the fact that Asian families sometimes are very complicated and there can be lots of different dynamics, but we really focus on that person and what matters to them.
So the individual patient themselves.
Yeah, that's at the heart of everything that we do.
So the patient is centered around the patient.
Yeah.
Okay, that's. I mean, in terms of, you know, somebody, I mean, in hospitals when people sometimes died, although they're getting better now, particularly places like Bradford and, you know, Leeds, etc., where prior to that, when they had very limited knowledge of our faith and culture, there used to be lots of issues around how, you know, when a patient dies, how they deal with it. I presume you don't have that issue because, mashallah, the two of you working there will have overcome something like that. So when somebody is dying, with ghusl dena, kafan karna, you know, things like that, burial, you can look into those areas as well, can you?
Yes, I think because we support all faiths.
We support that, and if our input is required, like I said, we will have imams or other people, whether the patient dies at home or whether they die at hospice. Those issues are well beforehand. We have talked about with the patient, with the family, and we will sensitively match closer to their needs as well as we can.
Okay, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, it takes away, I'm sure, when families are going through these problems, the difficulty, there must be a lot of trauma and distress that they must be going through. So the support that you provide is absolutely phenomenal. May Allah give you the reward, not only in this world, but in the world hereafter as well, for what you do. But I mean, what are the main challenges for you at the moment?
So I think it's addressing some of the myths and the stigma, really, and especially within our community. So, you know, even if somebody's watching this and they pick up the phone and they ring, we've got an advice line, then it's worth it for us in spreading the word. And really, we don't want people to think that it's admitting failure or saying that you can't cope if you're accessing support, because we are here for people and we want people to know that.
And do you have a Friends of Hospice type of group or something like that?
We've got lots of support groups, so we're really lucky. I think we know that we wouldn't be here without our community. So obviously 2/3 of our fundraising comes from our community, so we're lucky in that we're very well supported, and I think we've got a fantastic reputation locally, but we need to spread the word and we need to get the message out more.
And is the hospice, does it take patients from outside Kirklees, or is it just Kirklees focused?
So it's just for Kirklees, but we do have an inter-area agreement between the other hospices across sort of Kirklees, Calderdale and Wakefield.
Right, I see. So you do take people from a wider area?
We will, depending on the circumstances. But
what about people who may be further away, but they've got family, who may not have family where they are, but they may have family in Dewsbury or Bradford? Or
so
would they be able to access your services?
Yeah, so we do consider things on a case-by-case basis, but somebody might be sat watching this in Bradford, and actually there's hospices in Bradford as well, or there's hospices in London. So there is a big hospice movement sort of down the country.
Right.
So there's lots of support.
There's a federation of hospices.
So there is, I would say, a hospice in every area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that is fantastic and phenomenal, obviously. Farzana, obviously, you know, you have a vital role to play in this. And you go out into the community, don't you?
I actually don't. My job isn't going out. I mean, if necessity, I would, you know, see a patient at hospice or with a nurse at home. But generally, mostly my support is on telephone.
Oh, I see.
So
it's online support.
Online support. Again, it's not just myself. It would be all of us team involved, the special nurses involved.
I mean, I hope what we've heard so far, I mean, I'm blown away by the work that they do and the hospice itself. I know, and I'm sure many watching this program will know, that was it not for the hospice support services that they have in their locality, a lot of families would find it extremely difficult to cope, you know, with these type of situations when they face it themselves directly. We have to go for another break. Inshallah, we'll see you soon. Can I say thank you? One of our guests will be leaving us very soon. and somebody else will be joining us. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back very soon. Don't go away. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.